You mentioned small businesses. I do want to get back to that. And you said that you want to help them flourish. How exactly do you do that? Small businesses are the backbone of America. We're Forbes. We cover entrepreneurship. What would you do if elected to Congress to spur that entrepreneurship in America today?
Well, I think the best thing that we can do from the federal government is to make sure that the consumers try to hold on to as much money as possible. Because, as you know, consumer spending is what 2/3 of GDP that we have in the country, and that's so. If we don't have, if these small business owners don't have healthy customers, it's really hard to have a healthy balance sheet. And we don't have a lot of really big companies in our district. We have a couple big steel mills and everything else like that, but a good chunk, far above national average, are truly mom and pop businesses. We have these main streets that are struggling of late because people are moving to the big cities, and the next generation ranchers and farmers, the current ones, are trying to hold on to those people to stay. But we're also running into some of that they're fleeing to get out there because they don't see the rural economic development that we need. And I would love to see more rural. I would love to see more economic development through the Appropriations Committee, which I'd love to get on, especially in the Water and Energy Subcommittee, to try to figure out how to make sure those districts are good. As far as ranching and farming, we have to make sure that there is an international as well as a national customer base for the livestock that we're producing, for the produce that's growing, for the potatoes that are coming out of the San Luis Valley, so the melons that are coming out of Rocky Ford in southeast Colorado, right along the New Mexico border. So a lot of the agricultural policy that we need to make sure that we try to stimulate a global market for customers is something that I'm very, very focused on. And the same thing in ranching. We also need better help with better infrastructure. And our current representative continues to vote against infrastructure bill after infrastructure bill. And I don't want to get into the 2 trillion or I don't want to talk about the trillions of dollars. I want to talk about the millions of dollars that our representative has turned down that should have come to Pueblo County, Mesa County, Alamosa County, and try to make sure that there is a better transportation infrastructure on roads and bridges and rail ports to make sure we're moving things around. And also, we need to make sure that we have a strong domestic energy production, because while we have some big energy producers in western and southern Colorado, a lot of the residual businesses are come from true mom and pop industries, and they just want to be able to produce. They want to earn a fair amount of money to raise their kids, keep their kids in good, safe schools, and getting a job when an unemployment rate is 3% isn't so much of a struggle as it is to get a career, not just a job, and making sure that there's a living wage for people, to make sure that they get paid, and making sure that they have the regulation environment which is stable, which always changes every 2 or 4 years, which is very, very hard. You hear this all the time for businesses. Like, I don't care where you plant the goalposts, just plant them and try to leave them alone for us, and we will kick the ball through the field goal, no matter how far or how narrow or how high it is. But we need certainty, and that's some of the regulatory environment that can happen at the federal level to allow our small business communities to flourish.